Okay, guys, I am so sorry. I'm having mic issues. If it gets staticky, please let me know. I bought a new cord because I think that's the problem. Let's try that all over again. I love it. What a scary, spooky stream. Sorry for the low lighting. I feel like it fits the vibes. Anyway, hi, Frosty. Welcome, welcome. Franco, welcome, welcome. Thanks for letting me know the sound was off. Frosty says, like the stream, indeed. The music matches, yes, I did buy Epidemic Sound again so I could have some spooky music, which I will start whenever we start reading. Also, yes, waiting for the awesome jump scare. He's out of the room right now, but you know what? He can make a surprise appearance at any time. I think Will said he's coming. Will submitted these stories, and then I think Im said she was coming. It seems like Im said she was coming. We are live on Twitch. If you guys aren't following me over on Twitch, please feel free to do so. It is linked in the description box below, but by no means is it absolutely necessary. I'm just kind of streaming just because I might as well stream over there as well. How is everyone doing? Before we get into the ghost stories, I am gonna thanks, Frosty, I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I did not look at any of these stories because I didn't want to spoil myself. There was one that was quite an interesting title somewhere down here. We're probably not going to stream for too long because I can't read for that long, but I think we're going to pick something from each of these websites Will sent. Dead tired, no! I'm going to go grab water really quick. Let me put some spooky music on for you guys. I'm going to grab water and I will be right back. I have returned. Been good. Sorry for being MIA. Work's been tough, and I twisted my ankle this weekend, so I took the day off to recover. Frosty, thanks for subscribing or following me on Twitch. Thank you so much. Was it Will who twisted your ankle? I'd like to know as well. Are you okay? Well, at least did you take today off as well, by chance? Are you going to be here for the entirety of the stream, or are you going to leave us? I hope you're not going to leave us. Okay, we got a whole playlist going, guys. Okay, Will is gonna come. Okay, I say we can either start with, here's the two that interest me from this. Japanese Cryptic Mirror, or The Girl on the Swing. Let's do a poll. Yeah, taking the day off. I believe it was Will. Oh my gosh, no, Will, how could you? I'm glad you'll be here, though. Nice of you to join us. Also, guys, I do still have a few items on my wish list for my Halloween costume photo shoot, as well as for the Ren Fair, if anybody wants to help. Link is in my bio, but I can also drop it if anybody's interested. Okay, here's what we're going with first. I'm gonna try to stay the whole time, but I'm gonna have to cook dinner. No worries, I prepped my dinner before we started. Here's our poll options. Hands Emma steel chair to handle Will. Sometimes it has to be done. Also, I'm gonna pause the music because I feel like I'm yelling. If the music gets too loud at any point, please let me know. We may circle back through. I only put a few on here. So I apologize if, we circle back through. I don't expect this to be a long stream, probably only an hour, because I can only talk for so long straight. Let's see. Ooh, the girl on the string, the swing. That's also why I'm not going to read for long, because apparently I'm illiterate. All right. I feel like I should have done like dark lighting. Absolute darkness. I think I would look too dark. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, that's scary. Scary, spooky. Here we go, guys. For real though, it was stupid. Missed a step and going down 2 steps, and I felt my ankle going in a way that it shouldn't. No, I'm so sorry. At least you got a day off out of it, okay? All right, we're gonna do the swing. Let's take a little selfie together, guys. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we gotta take a selfie. Okay. All right, guys. I wish this was like moved over. Can I center this? I can't center this. That's really annoying. Bear with me, guys. Okay. What should I play? What song? Ooh, scary. Let me listen to this. Okay. Okay, everybody. Also, if you have any ghost stories you want me to read while we're going through, you can drop them in the chat. You can send a link. You can just drop the story. You can send it in Discord. Here we go. The first ghost story. The girl on the swing. Ready? Should I do this ASMR? No, absolutely not. The incident dates back to the time when I was still studying in middle school. During those days, my friend circle consisted of 2 people who I will call A-kun and B-kun in this story. I was friends with A-kun and B-kun since the time when we were in elementary school. Moreover, our homes were very close to each other's, and this allowed us to meet every day after school. Near to our houses was a hill that we would visit frequently. In other words, it was our meeting grounds, where we would hold our frivolous conversations till late night. Hey, Brendan. The best thing about this was that we had permissions from our parents, so staying on the hill till midnight was not a problem for us. It was like any other night when I was chatting with my friend A-kun on the top of the hill. It's so hard to take this story seriously when it's called A-kun, but I'm trying. Our other friend B-kun hadn't come yet. Even after a few hours, he was nowhere in sight. So I said to A-kun, "Hey, B-kun is not here yet. Shall we go to his house and see what's the matter?" Spookai. That's what I'm naming my Halloween stream. By the way, I keep getting distracted, sorry. And so we both descended the hill and walked in the direction of B-kun's house. There was a playground of sorts that we needed to cross before reaching B-kun's house. So as we were crossing the playground, I caught something in my peripheral vision. On the swing, a little girl wearing all white, swinging back and forth. It was almost midnight, and I was sure terrified by the presence of the girl. I turned to A-kun and spoke. "Did you just see that?" A-kun turned. "Wah!" A-kun shrieked. We both immediately turned back and ran towards the hill. Play some A-kun while you're reading this. Hey Kai, can you read Kichu Sake? Oh nah, yes I can. Absolutely. Also, Tora, welcome. I've missed you. It's been so long. Okay, let me finish this. I might have to focus on reading, chat. I'm sorry. But I promise I won't lead you astray. Okay. Hold on. When we arrived on the hill, we sat down to control the shiverings of our bodies. We tried to rack our brains to give a logical justification to what we saw on the playground. A few minutes must have passed when we saw B-kun approaching us from the dark. Hey B-kun, didn't you just come from the direction of the playground? Did you see a little girl on the swing? No, I saw nothing like that. We definitely saw her, right, A-kun? To remove all doubts, all 3 of us went back to the park. There on the swing, we saw her. The girl was still there. Immediately, we ran back to the hill. So we were right, B-kun. Did you see her this time? Yes, I believe you. She was smiling. I didn't look at her face. I was damn terrified. Same goes for me. I, too, didn't have the courage to look at her face. The very next day... What? The very next day, Beacon lost his life when he was run over by a truck. Could it not be possible that the girl was a Shinigami and her smile was more of a gateway to death? In our group, only Beacon saw her smile and thus was taken to the afterlife by her. I was not expecting that. Truckcon does strike again. What? Okay. Pause. What? Truckcon strikes? Woo! No worries, Elior. Welcome, welcome. You missed the first story. I would give that on a scary scale out of 5. Honestly, only a 2. Honestly, even only a 1. The scariest part was the ending. Like, what? What do you mean he got hit by a truck? Okay, we are going to do Tora. Oh! Okay. Let me get the mood for this one. What did we think, guys? What did we think? Yeah, he was isekai to the Soul Society. Isekai time! Is this the actual story? Oh, this is just the yokai. Will, welcome, welcome. You missed the first story. It was pretty mild indeed. Okay. All right. Are we ready for the next one, guys? Like Tora, as you guys saw, if you submit anything, feel free to submit. I'll read it. We did the girl on the swing first from the website that Will sent. Scary factor, 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5. The ending was wild. For those of you who are a little late, feel free to watch the VOD a little bit later. So you say an isekai is real? I think so. I'll be there in my alter self soon. No. Okay, let me see what... Okay, this is the vibes. It was always real, Elior. Always. Oh, hold on. This isn't the real story. Hey, Tora, are you still here? If anybody, Tora, if you're still here, or Will, if you have a second to find the story, I don't see an actual story of me being able to read what he sent. Just the origin. So, for now, we're going to read this if Tora or Will or somebody can find that one. Oh, this is the one I wanted to read. Keen Ki. Come on, if you're here, can you please find the actual story for me, pretty please? Hi, everybody. Are we doing ghost stories? We are. We're on our second one. This one's called Ninki. If you want to submit, please find the actual story for me, though. Just because I just searched the, yokai, it is a little hard to find a story. But feel free to submit. How are you, Marcus? Okay. Okay, everybody. We're about to get into it. Let's find it. Let's find some music. Perfect, Tora, if you can find it and drop a link. Once, when Muso Kokushi, a priest of the Zen sect, was journeying alone through the province of Mino, he lost his way in a mountain district where there was nobody to direct him. For a long time, he wandered about helplessly, and he was beginning to despair of finding shelter for the night, when he perceived, on the top of a hill, lighted by the last rays of the sun, one of those little hermitages called onjitsu, which are built for solitary priests. It seemed to be in ruinous condition, but he hastened to it eagerly, and found that it was inhabited by an aged priest, from whom he begged the favor of a night's lodging. This the old man harshly refused, but he directed Muso to a certain hamlet in the valley, adjoining where lodging and food could be obtained. Muso found his way to the hamlet, which consisted of less than a dozen farm cottages, and he was kindly received at the dwelling of the headman. 40 or 50 persons were assembled in the principal apartment at the moment of Muso's arrival, but he was shown into a small, separate room, where he was promptly supplied with food and bedding. Being very tired, he lay down to rest at an early hour, but a little before midnight he roused from sleep by a sound of a loud weeping in the next apartment. Presently, the sliding screens were greatly pushed apart, and a young man carrying a lighted lantern entered the room
respectfully saluted him and said, "Reverend sir, it is my painful duty to tell you that I am now the responsible head of this house. Yesterday I was only the eldest son, but when you came here, tired as you were, we did not wish that you should feel embarrassed in any way. Therefore, we did not tell you that father had died only a few hours before. The people whom you saw on the next room are the inhabitants of this village. They all assembled here to pay their last respects to the dead. And now they are going to another village, about 3 miles off, for by our custom no one of us may remain in this village during the night after a death has taken place. We make the proper offerings and prayer, then we go away, leaving the corpse alone. Strange things always happen in this house where a corpse thus has been left, so we think it will be better for you to come away with us. We can find you good lodging in another village, but perhaps, as you are a priest, you have no fear of demons or evil spirits, and if you are not afraid of being left alone with the body, you will be very welcome to use this poor house. However, I must tell you that nobody except a priest would dare to remain here tonight." Okay. Em! Hi, my sweet, sweet Em! How are you? No worries! Muso made answer, "For your kind intention and generous hospitality, I am deeply grateful. But I am sorry that you did not tell me of your father's death when I came, for though I was a little tired—" Hold on, we gotta get the next song. "I certainly was not so tired that I should have found difficulty in doing my duty as a priest. Had you told me, I could have performed the service before your departure. As it is, I shall perform the service after you have gone away, and I shall stay by the body until morning. I do not know what you mean by your words about the danger of staying here alone, but I am not afraid of ghosts or demons, therefore please to feel no anxiety on my account." Thank you, Em. I'm trying to read in voices so we all know who I'm playing. I'm on my alter account though. On my true in a minute. No worries, Der Meister /sick. Okay, I gotta focus, guys. The young man appeared to be rejoiced by these appearances and expressed his gratitude in fitting words. Then the other members of the family and the folk assembled in the adjoining room, having been told of the priest's kind promises, came to thank him, after which the master of this house said, "Now, Reverend Sir, much as we regret to leave you alone, we must bid you farewell. By the rule of our village, none of us can stay here after midnight. We beg, kind sir, that you will take every care of your honorable body, while we were unable to attend upon you. And if you happen to hear or see anything strange during our absence, please tell us the matter when we return in the morning." Thank you, I paid $20 so we could have music playing in this stream. Okay. All then left the house, except the priest, who went to the room where the dead body was lying. The unusual offerings had been set before the corpse, and a small Buddhist lamp, Domyo, was burning. The priest recited the service and performed the funeral ceremonies, after which he entered into meditation. So meditating, he remained through several silent hours, and there was no sound in the deserted village. But when the hush of the night was at its deepest, there noiselessly entered a shape, vague and vast, and in the moment Muso found himself without power to move or speak. He saw the shape lift the corpse as with hands, devour it more quickly than a cat devours a rat, beginning at the head and eating everything, the hair and the bones and even the shroud, and the monstrous thing, having thus consumed the body, turned to the offerings and ate them also. Then it went away as mysteriously as it had come. Let me do this song. Oh yeah, that's a good one. When the villagers returned next morning, they found the priest awaiting them at the door of the headman's dwelling. All in turn saluted him, and when they had entered and looked about the room, no one expressed any surprise at the disappearance of the dead body and the offerings. But the master of the house said to Muso, "Reverend sir, you've probably seen unpleasant things during the night. All of us were anxious for you, but now we are very happy to find you alive and unharmed. Gladly would have stayed with you, if it had been possible, but the law of our village, as I told you last evening, obliges us to quit our houses after a death has taken place, and to and to leave the corpse alone. Whenever this law has been broken heretofore, some great misfortune has followed. Whenever it is obeyed, we find that the corpse and the offerings disappear during our absence. Perhaps you have seen the cause." Then Muso told of the dim and awful shape that had entered the death chamber to devour the body and the offerings. No person seemed to be surprised by this narration, and the master of the house observed, "What you have told us, Reverend Sir, agrees with what has been said about this matter from ancient time." Muso then inquired, "Does not the priest of the hills sometimes perform the funeral service for your dead?" "What priest?" the young man asked. "The priest who yesterday evening directed me to this village," answered Muso. "I called at his Anjitsu on the hill yonder. He refused me lodging, but told me the way here." The listeners looked at each other, as in an astonishment, and after a moment of silence, the master of the house said, "Reverend Sir, there is no priest, and there is no Anjitsu on the hill. For the time of many generations, there has not been any resident priest in the neighborhood." Muso said nothing more on the subject, for it was evident that his kind host supposed him to have been deluded by some goblin. But after bidding them farewell and obtained all necessary information as to his road, he determined to look again for the hermitage on the hill, and so to ascertain whether he had really been deceived. He found the Anjitsu without difficulty. This time, its aged occupant invited him to enter. When he had done so, the hermit humbly bowed before him, exclaiming, "Ah! I am ashamed! I am very ashamed! I am exceedingly ashamed!" "You need not be ashamed for having refused me shelter," said Muso. "You directed me to the village yonder, where I was very kindly treated, and I thank you for that favor." "I can give no man shelter," the recluse made answer, "and it is not for the refusal that I am ashamed. I am ashamed that you should have seen me in my real shape, for it was I who devoured the corpse and the offerings last night before your eyes. No, Reverend Sir, that I am a Jinkinkiniki." Hold on. "No, sir, that I am a Jinkiniki. Hold on. No, Reverend Sir, that I am a Jinkinkiniki, an eater of human flesh." I tried, guys. I'm sorry. "Have pity upon me and suffer me to confess the secret fault by which I became reduced to this condition. A long, long time ago, I was a priest in this desolate region. There was no other priest for many leagues around, so in that time, the bodies of the mountain folk who died used to be brought here." The music matched the name reveal, did it? Sick is awakened. Welcome back, Sick. Oh, okay, so it's in Spanish, but I can translate it. Franco, or no, that was Tora that sent it to me. I vote to read it in Spanish, guys. It's not a great idea. Anyway. "A long, long time ago, I was a priest in this desolate region. There was no other priest for many leagues around. So in that time, the bodies of the mountain folk who died used to be brought here, sometimes from great distances, in order that I might repeat over them from the holy service. But I repeated the service and performed the rites only as a matter of business. I thought only of food and the clothes that my sacred profession enabled me to gain. And because of this selfish impiety, I was reborn, immediately after my death, into the state of a Jinkinkiniki. Since then, I have been obliged to feed upon the corpses of the people who die in this district. Every one of them I must devour in the way that you saw last night. Now, Reverend Sir, let me beseech you to perform the Seigaki service for me. Help me by your prayers, I entreat you, so that I may be able to escape from this horrible state of existence." No sooner had the hermit muttered this petition than he disappeared, and the hermitage also disappeared at the same instant. And Muso Kokoshi found himself kneeling alone in the high grass beside an ancient and moss-grown tomb of the form called Golreneshi, which seemed to be the tomb of the priest. That one was good! What do we rate that one, guys? I'm giving that a good 3.5. The reveal was good.
Kai, you should read a French story in French. Ah, Manon. In Japanese, yes, in Japanese. A full video of French horror stories. Wait, I think that one was shown in an anime. This one? What anime? Okay. Oh boy. Oh, I can't copy that link from here. Hold on. Copy link address. Paste. Oh. I absolutely do not want to do that. Oh. Yeah, go to site. I don't think it's actually Nightmare Before Christmas. Music, by the way. It was good, yeah, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I can't even attempt to read this. Hold on. English. There's a translate button, I thought. Oh, translate. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Anyway, before we move on to the next one, yeah, what did everyone think of that last story? What did we think? Give me a little spooky rating out of 5 in the chat. First one, I gave a 1.5, 2. Second one, I gave a 3.5. This one, who knows? Maybe it'll be a 4.5. Maybe even a 5. Maybe a 5 out of 5. Is Kuro still here? Hey, Kuro. Blurty, welcome back just in time for our next one. By the way, Kai, did we ever do Fall Guys or got another time? Another time, no one could come except for me and, Kuro. I can't make stories, so I can't rate. I didn't know what was going on. No worries. I feel like the good stuff was when you came in. Will is here, protect your ankles. Maybe, wait, I think it might be this one. This one I feel like is very popular. Woo, Im is here, our ankles are safe from Will. Yes, ooh, okay, Sick is dropping one for us to watch. Okay, or to read. We're reading. Do you have a link with that, Sir Sick? Sir Sick? Oh, or is this the show it was from? This might, never mind. It's an anime, got it, sorry. Also, if you guys haven't already, please like the stream. Also, tell your friends, we are so close to 5K, we're at 4.5 thousand, you know. Requiem is Deva JoJo reference, yes, I'm coming for them cankles! Okay, guys, we're ready to move on to the next one. If anybody has any, please keep dropping them in the chat. If you make your own, that could be, you can make your own ghost story, I'll read it. Also, if anybody wants to watch it, it is 11. Yes, Kuro, you're here. Oh, you're on Twitch. Hey, Kuro on Twitch. Yes, please like this stream on YouTube and Twitch. I probably will only read 2 more stories, depending on the length. I'm kind of running out of steam. These are kind of hard for me to do. Oh, sorry, Kuro. I just saw your name when I was reading, and I wasn't looking at the icon. We're probably only going to read 2 more stories, but I am definitely open to doing this again. Maybe we can do a fun Halloween stream where we do something like this and open packages. No worries. Don't sub. You're a YouTube member. As long as you're following me on Twitch, that's all I care about. All right, let's read Torah's. Legend has it that many years ago, a beautiful woman married a prominent and respectable samurai. Apparently, the woman was as beautiful as she was promiscuous. In addition to having numerous suitors who continued to court her despite her marriage, she herself succumbed to the pleasures of the flesh with many of them. Her husband, who was initially unaware of his young wife's extramarital practices, one day learned of all her adulteries she committed. According to legend, the samurai flew into a state of incredible rage and went toward his wife, slashing her mouth from side to side while shouting, "Do you think you're beautiful?" Once he had finished slashing the young woman's mouth, he finished the job by saying,
Who would think you're beautiful now? It is worth noting that the woman... Oh, that's not him talking, sorry. It is worth noting that the woman with her mouth cut out died, leaving her husband with the eternal guilt of her death. It is said, from that moment on, the woman returned, good music timing, to the underworld transformed into a yokai, and roamed the streets of Tokyo seeking revenge on any man she encountered. Legend claims that this spirit can often be found walking the city streets wearing a surgical mouth. Wearing a surgical mask over her mouth. When the spirits encounter a young man, she simply stops in front of them and asks, "Am I beautiful?" If you say yes, the woman will tear off her mask and ask, "Now what?" At that moment, her victims will scream in terror, and she will kill them by cutting off their heads, interpreting their screams as a clear no. If the second time she asks, the answer is yes, it won't matter at all, as the spirit will react by making the same cut on its victims to make them experience her pain. As you can see, it is quite difficult to escape the wrath of this specter. Although it is true that the legend tells us that there are certain ways to avoid her vengeance, if the besieged person gives an answer ambiguous enough to make Kushisake One Onna ponder the meaning of the reply, she will surely have time to escape and run far enough to escape her scissors. It is also said that if the victim responds politely to the first question with a "sorry, I'm in a hurry," the ghost will let them go, using the good manners of Japanese culture. This seems problematic, and I feel like the real horror is adultery, and this, this is pretty toxic. 3.5, though. This one feels like a classic. Okay, let's see what I miss. Yes, our mana is no longer the same as the younglings. No, I mean, like, the option isn't there. You getting this sub as soon as it is there. No, what? Like, you can't follow me on Twitch? Can you can't follow me? On these twitchy? I have 11 followers. Ooh, I have 11 followers. Thanks, guys. Bad chicka wow wow. I had to. Plays Nelly Furtado's Promiscuous Girl. Give me a rating in the chat, guys. Oh, wait, I know that one. It's a good one. The music timing low-key startled me. That was, like, kind of on point. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie at all. Y'all want to know how I got these scars? I don't. I don't. The acting is slay. Thanks, She goes choppy. She did go choppy, bruh. Oh yeah, I just remember there was an episode about this on Story in the Constantine series. Really? I used to love that show. Oh, so all you gotta do to escape is say like, "Oh, look at the time. Oh, look at the time. I gotta go to work. Go menasai." So toxic. Yes, Sick, welcome to Twitch. In Constantine series, she asked someone the question. The guy goes, "Do you think I am?" That's so funny. That was a good one. That was a classic. I support Universal Wii. What did we think, guys? Did we like that one? Shall we finish it off with a longer one? Or should we do a few shorter ones? 3.5! Good one! Yeah, I agree. That was not only dark, but it was also toxic. It was. It was a reflection of our culture, I feel. I think that aged. It was a good one. I forgot about the Constantine series, same. I would rate it a 67. 67. Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted? Also, if you guys like this, we can definitely do it again. I'm sorry I can't talk yap for a super long time. I'm going to go until at least 8:30. So if we do a long one and we finish up before 8:30, I'm going to keep reading until 8:30, 8:45. Don't worry. I'm sorry, Em. I had to. Okay, we're going to do a long one. So here we go. Do we want to do... Oh, this is the... Y'all, didn't we just read this one? Yuki Onna? No. We didn't. He was more accurate than the Keanu version. Yeah, the Keanu one's okay. Long one is 67%. No, that's so funny. I didn't even notice that. 6'7". Actually, British since he's based on... Yeah. That's so funny. I had no idea. That's so funny we got to 67%. Save the long one. Okay, we're gonna read this one. Yeah, Snow Lady. Agree, he also was better and got some good lines in the CW shows. I love the crossover. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's start this song over. Is she hot? Okay. As we're going, feel free to chat. I might not stop to read chat, but I'll definitely read it after. Oh my gosh, did your dad hear me? We can do it together. 6, 7. Oh, I killed Yuki Ani in Assassin's Creed. That's the one I recognize. Okay, we're doing this one then. Let's do it. All right. Here we go. Is she hot? Listen, he wants to know. In a village of Musashi province, there lived 2 woodcutters, Mosaku and Minokichi. At the time of which I am speaking, Mosaku was an old man, and Minokichi, his apprentice, was a lad of 18 years. Every day, they went together to a forest situated about 5 miles from their village. On the way to the forest, there is a wide river to cross, and there is a ferry boat. Several times a bridge was built where the ferry is, but the bridge was each time carried away by a flood. No common bridge can resist the current there when the river rises. Mosaku and Minokichi were on their way home one very cold evening when a great snowstorm overtook them. They reached the ferry, and they found that the boatman... Dang, the musical's on time again! And they found that the boatman had gone away, leaving his boat on the other side of the river. It was no day for swimming, and the woodcutters took shelter in a ferryman's hut, thinking themselves very lucky to find any shelter at all. There was no brazier in the hut, nor any place in which to make a fire. It was only a 2-mat hut with a single door, but no windows. Mosaku and Minokichi fastened the door and lay down to rest, with their straw raincoats over them. At first, they did not feel very cold, and they thought that the storm would soon be over. The old man almost immediately fell asleep, but the boy, Minokichi, lay awake a long time, listening to the awful wind and the continual slashing of the snow against the door. The river was roaring, and the hut swayed and creaked like a junk at sea. It was a terrible storm, and the air was every moment becoming colder, and Minokichi shivered under his raincoat. But at last, in spite of the cold, he too fell asleep. Let's read the chat. Oh, they be kind of white. If she is worth it. Yuki Onna, adorable in Inspector Anime Season 2. Never heard of it. Kai should narrate Unsolved Mysteries. Call me, I'd love to. Absolutely would love to. He was awakened by a showering of snow in his face. The door of the hut had been forced open, and by the snow light, Yuki Akari, he saw a woman in the room. A woman, all in white. She was bending above Mosaku and blowing her breath upon him, and in her breath was like a bright white smoke. Almost in the same moment, she turned to Minokichi and stooped over him. He tried to cry out, but found that he could not mutter any sound. The white woman bent down over him, lower and lower, until her face almost touched him, and he saw that she was very beautiful. There's the answer to your question, Sick. Oh, I lost my place, though. Though her eyes made him afraid, for a little time she continued to look at him. Then she smiled and she whispered, "I intend to treat you like the other man, but I cannot help feeling some pity for you, because you are so young. You are a pretty boy, Minokichi, and I will not hurt you now. But if you ever tell anybody, even your own mother, and about what you've seen this night, I shall know it, and then I will kill you. Remember what I say." With these words, she turned from him and passed through the doorway. Then he found himself able to move, and he sprang out and looked out. But the woman was nowhere to be seen, and the snow was driving furiously into the hut. Minokichi closed the door and secured it by fixing several billets of wood against it. He wondered if the wind had blown it open. He thought that he might have been only dreaming. It might have mistaken the gleam of snowlight in the doorway for a figure of a white woman, but he could not be sure. He called to Mosaku and was frightened because the old man did not answer. He put out his hand in the dark and touched Mosaku's face and found that it was ice. Mosaku was stark and dead.
Oh, Inspector, I have heard of that one. Oh, welcome on the Twitch side, Elior. Thank you. She's worth it. And I had to give him his answer. Elior here, Elior there, Elior everywhere. All of you are. Yes, Im, exactly. I just have to support the queen. Thank you. So she makes you into a pretty boy. No, she'll save you if you're a pretty boy. Let's continue. By dawn, the storm was over, and when the ferryman returned to his station a little after sunrise, he found Minokichi lying senselessly beside the frozen body of Mosaku. Minokichi was promptly cared for, and soon came to himself, but he remained a long time ill from the effects of the cold of that terrible night. He had been greatly frightened also by the old man's death, and he said nothing about the vision of the woman in white. As soon as he got well again, he returned to his calling, going alone every morning to the forest, and coming back at nightfall with his bundles of wood, which his mother also helped him sell. One evening, in the winter of the following year, as he was on his way home, he overtook a girl who happened to be traveling by the same road. She was a tall, slim girl, very good-looking, and she answered Minokichi's greeting in a voice as pleasant to the ear as the voice of a songbird. Then he walked beside her, and they began to talk. The girl said that her name was Oyuki, that she had lately lost both of her parents, and that she was going to Yedo, where she happened to leave some poor relations who might help her to find a situation as a servant. Minokichi soon felt charmed by this strange girl, and the more he looked at her, the handsomer she appeared to be. I was saving my pretty crap basket. No, the music cut out, and then she was very good looking, actually said to me. The music timing was kind of impeccable, I'm not gonna lie. The music's been okay. It was worth the $20, guys. Here we go. Minokichi soon felt charmed by this strange girl, and the more... Okay, we read that. He asked her whether she was yet betrothed, and she answered laughingly that she was free. Then in her turn, she asked Minokichi whether he was married or pledged to marry, and he told her that. Although he had only a widowed mother to support, the question of an honorable daughter-in-law had yet been considered, as he was very young. After these confidences, they walked for a long while without speaking, but as the proverb declares, Ki ga arabe mi mo kuchi hodo ni mono o iu. When the wish is there, the eyes can say as much as the mouth. By the time they reached the village, they had become very much pleased with each other, and then Minokichi asked Oyuki to rest a while at his house. After some shy hesitation, she went there with him, and his mother made her welcome and prepared a warm meal for her. Oyuki behaved so nicely that Minokichi's mother took a sudden fancy to her and persuaded her to delay her journey to Yedo. And the natural end of the matter was that Yuki never went to Yedo at all. She remained in the house as an honorable daughter-in-law. Sorry, lady, but my heart belongs to Queen Kai. Me before getting murdered by a ghost. No. AI ghosts? Where are the AI ghosts coming from? Oyuki proved a very good daughter-in-law. When Minokichi's mother came to die some 5 years later, her last words were of affection and praise for the wife of her son, and Oyuki bore Minokichi 10 children! Whew, girl! Boys and girls, handsome children, all of them, and very fair of skin. This song's not working for me. Let's do this one. Okay. The country folk thought Oyuki a wonderful person by nature, different from themselves. Most of the peasant women aged early, but Oyuki, even after become the mother of 10 children... Who just became a member? Wait, whoa, what? Will, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. What? Telvin, welcome to the members. King Alakazar got a membership. Bluebell Edits got a membership. Ayush Raj, I think he just subscribed. He got a membership. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hoodie Dawn, welcome back to the membership. Thank you, Will. What the heck? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wow, thank you, Will. 5 gifted memberships for 5 of the 10 children. I love it. Thank you so much. W Will indeed. Okay, wait, where were we? Okay, one night, after the children had gone to sleep, Oyuki was sewing by the light of a paper lamp, and Minokichi, watching her, said, "To see you sewing there, with the light on—" Oh, hold on, let me do a different voice. "To see you sewing there, with the light on your face, makes me think of a strange thing that happened when I was a lad of 18. I then saw somebody as beautiful and white as you are now. Indeed, she was very like you." Without lifting her eyes from her work, Oyuki responded, "Tell me about her. Where did you see her?" Then Minokichi told her about the terrible night in the ferryman's hut, and about the white woman that had stooped above him, smiling and whispering, and about the silent death of old Masuku, and he said, "Asleep or awake, that was the only time that I saw a being as beautiful as you. Of course, she was not a human being, and I was afraid of her, very much afraid, but she was so white. Indeed, I have never been sure whether it was a dream that I saw or the woman of the snow." Oyuki flung down her sewing and arose and bowed above Minokichi where he sat and shrieked into his face, "It was I, Yuki! It was! And I told you that I would kill you if you ever said one word about it. But for those children asleep there, I would kill you this moment. And now you had better take very, very good care of them. For if ever they have a reason to complain of you, I will treat you as you deserve." Even as she screamed, her voice became thin, like a crying of wind. Then she melted into a bright white mist that spired to the roof beams and shuddered away through the smoke hole. Never again was she seen, leaving her 10 children with her husband. Terrifying. I love the voice change, thank you. We got our goal of a jump scare. You can't go around when people are saying so white. I'm sorry. It sounds like a racist ghost. The I, ridiculous. Flirty, welcome back. Why did they come back when they said racist? That cry was scratching out for a second, then I looked up at the screen so fast. It was her. Y'all. Can we talk about how she just left him with 10 kids? All because he told somebody? That's crazy. Wow. What did we think? I actually really liked that one. I would give that one a 4 out of 5. I liked the artwork. All of that was really good. Bro, these stories aren't scary, but toxic. They really are. Japanese culture said we don't do scary, we do toxic. It was her, y'all. Kai Cole 2025. Put it on a shirt. And it's me pointing to the ghost. You are the father. That was a fun one and deserves a 4. I agree. That was a fun one and deserves a 4. We're going to read one more. This short one above it. A dead secret. And then we're going to wrap it up. Let's get into it. A long time ago, in the province of Tamba, there lived a rich merchant named Inamuraya Ginsuke. He had a daughter called Osono. As she was very clever and pretty, he thought it would be a pity to let her grow up with only such teaching as the country teachers could give her. Yeah, 10 kids and went for milk is crazy. So he sent her, in care of some trusty ascendants, to Kyoto, that she might be trained in the polite accomplishments taught to the ladies of the capital. After she had thus been educated, she was married to a friend of her father's family, a merchant named Nagaraya, and she lived happily with him for nearly 4 years. They had one child, a boy, but Osono fell ill and died in the 4th year after her marriage. This song's not doing it for me, guys. On the night after the funeral, Osono, her little son, said that his mama had come back and was in the room upstairs. She had smiled at him, but would not talk to him. So he became afraid and ran away. Then some of the family went upstairs to the room which had been Osono's, and they were startled to see, by the light of a small lamp which had been kindled before a shrine in that room, the figure of the dead mother.
She appeared as if standing in front of a tansu, or a chest of drawers, that still contained her ornaments and her wearing apparel. Her head and shoulders could be very distinctly seen, but from the waist downwards, the figure thinned into invisibility. It was like an imperfect reflection of her, and transparent as shadow on water. Then the folk were afraid and left the room. Below, they consulted together, and the mother of Osono's husband said, "A woman is fond of her small things, and Osono was much attached to her belongings. Perhaps she has come back to look at them. Many dead persons will do that. Unless the things be given to the parish temple, if we present Osono's robes and girdles to the temple, her spirit will probably find rest." It was agreed that this should be done as soon as possible, so on the following morning the drawers were emptied, and all of Osono's ornaments and dresses were taken to the temple. But she came back the next night, and looked at the tansu as before, and she came back also on the night following, and the night after that, and every night, and the house became a house of fear. The mother of Osono's husband then went to the parish temple, and told the chief priest all that had happened, and asked for ghostly counsel. The temple was a Zen temple, and the head priest was a learned old man, known as Daigen Osho. He said, "There must be about which she is anxious, in or near that tansu." "But we emptied all the drawers," replied the woman. "There is nothing in the tansu." "Well," said Daigen Osho, "tonight I shall go to your house and keep in that room, and see that to be done. You must give orders that no person shall enter the room while I am watching, unless I call." Bad idea. She is examining her wares. Let the girl live, or die in peace. After sundown, Daigen Osho went to the house and found that the room made ready for him. He remained there alone, reading the sutras, and nothing appeared until after the hour of the rat. Then the figure of Osono suddenly outlined itself in front of the tansu. Her face had a wistful look, and she kept her eyes fixed upon the tansu. The priest uttered the holy formula prescribed in such cases, and then, addressing the figure by the kamiyo of Osono, said, "I have come here in order to help you. Perhaps in that tansu there is something about which you have reason to feel anxious. Shall I try to find it for you?" The shadow appeared to give consent by a slight motion of the head, and the priest, rising, opened the top drawer. It was empty. Successfully, he opened the second, the third, and the fourth drawer. He searched carefully behind them and beneath them. He carefully examined the interior of the chest. He found nothing, but the figure remained gazing as wistfully as before. "What can she want?" thought the priest. Suddenly, it occurred to him that there might be something hidden under the paper with which the drawers were lined. He removed the lining of the first drawer. Nothing. He removed the lining of the second and the third drawers. Still nothing. But under the lining of the lowermost drawer he found a letter. "Is this the thing about which you have been troubled?" he asked. The shadow of the woman turned toward him, her faint gaze fixed upon the letter. "Shall I burn it for you?" he asked. She bowed before him. "It shall be burned in the temple this very morning," he promised, "and no one shall read it except for myself." The figure smiled and vanished. Dawn was breaking as the priest descended the stairs to find the family anxiously down below. "Do not be anxious," he said to them. "She will not appear again." And she never did. The letter was burned. It was a love letter written to Osono in the time of her studies at Kyoto. But the police alone knew what it was in it, and the secret died with him. Let the girl live or die in peace. Exactly. That one was not scary at all. Honestly, 2 out of 10. That one was about the same as actually, it was better than the girl in the swing. So 2.5. It was an ancient version of browser history. So where are you from? Originally? She was visiting hot samurai sites and didn't want her family to find out. I know. Woo! My lips are chapped. My throat is dry. Thank you so much for joining, guys. If you guys like this, please don't forget to like the stream. This was a very, very fun video for me. Or stream, I should say. We're not filming a video.
So thank you guys so much. 0 to 10, Weenie had junior level scary. Yeah, the scariest part was just like the figure, but it wasn't scary. In the ending, I wanted it to be different. You did good job, Kai. Rest up. That was a lot of reading. Thank you. It was super fun. Friday, we're probably going to play a game. We're either going to play the Crazy Girl game again or a different one. I'm not quite sure. Next week, we will do the submission. So have your double fruits. You did good, Kai. Oh, I read that already. That was fun. Indeed, I loved it. All the stories were not that scary, but you were funny. Thank you, Marcus. At least it was entertaining, I hope. I didn't think they were super scary either, but it was entertaining. Asa is downstairs. I do not know where he is, but I will find him and send a picture in the Discord. I promise. I promise. Took his outside. He's getting so big. You should play Granny on Friday. What is that one? Message me about that one, Will. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed me having music in the background and reading. Thank you so much. If you haven't, please like the stream. Probably be scared if you watch Japanese horror movies. I wish we could, but it will be copyrighted to all heck. Hearts, Elior. Oh, I need to watch the VOD. Yes, please watch the VOD. I scream a lot. They are the real stars of the show. They are. Anyways, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the Discord. I will send pictures. It was fun. Thank you so much. Thank you, Will, for the idea. Thank you to those who submitted them. Hearts for you, Marcus, and everyone else. Bye, guys. Bye, Will. Love you. More hot you. Yes. Bye, guys. Bye.